Case File 001, The Ticket from the Dead. The highway outside Asheville, Ohio stretched on longer than it should have. At night it felt even longer. No streetlights, no houses, just a thin ribbon of asphalt cutting through trees that leaned a little too close to the road, like they were listening. Most people who drove that stretch didn't talk about it, but the ones who did, they all said the same thing. If you saw the lights in your mirror, you pulled over. Tonight, a tired, middle-aged man drove alone on the road. His eyes were heavy but alert. He did not believe. In stories, he had driven this road plenty of times. Long late-night drives, music low, windows cracked just enough to let the cold air in. Just another empty road, just another night until the lights appeared. At first, he thought it was just another car. Then the red and blue started to flicker. Slow, steady, too steady. He checked his speed, barely over. "Really?" he muttered. Still, a cop was a cop. He eased onto the shoulder, gravel crunched under. His tires as the car rolled to a stop. The lights behind him stayed on, but the cruiser didn't move closer. It just sat there, waiting. He checked his mirror again. The cruiser looked right, but something about it felt distant. Like it was not fully there, he shook his head. "I am tired," he thought as he faced forward and waited. The knock came suddenly, not from the window, from the door. 3 heavy strikes, too hard, too loud. He flinched and turned. The officer was already standing there. No footsteps, no door, nothing, just there. The man standing outside was tall. His skin was pale gray, stretched too tight across his face like something wearing human flesh instead of living in it. His uniform was stiff, outdated, creased in ways that didn't match how he stood. And his eyes, they didn't settle. They moved slowly like they were trying to remember how to focus. "License," the officer said. The word came out broken. Not slurred, not drunk, just wrong. The driver hesitated. "Yeah, hold on." His fingers felt slower now, colder. He handed over his license. The officer didn't look at it. He just held it, staring, too long. "You were speeding," the officer said slowly, each word placed carefully, like he was building the sentence instead of speaking it. "I wasn't going that fast," the man replied. The officer did not respond. He pulled out a ticket and wrote slowly and deliberately, every movement stiff, controlled. He handed it over. The paper was damp, cold. "Court date," the officer said. The man glanced down. A date, a courtroom number. It looked official, real. When he looked back up, the officer was already walking away. By the time the man stepped out of his car, the cruiser was gone. No sound, no lights fading, nothing. Just an empty road, like it had never been there. The next morning, he called the Asheville clerk of courts and gave them the ticket number. "We do not have any record of that," the woman said. He frowned. "That is not possible. I have the ticket right here," he said. "I am telling you, sir, there is nothing in our system." He hung up, looked at the ticket again, still there, still real, still cold. He tossed it aside. Whatever. The date came and went that night. Something felt wrong. The air in his house sat too still, too quiet. Even his breathing sounded out of place. He locked the doors, checked the windows, turned off the lights, laid down. Sleep didn't come. The knock did, loud, violent, relentless. His eyes snapped open. Another slam. Hard enough to shake the door. He grabbed his phone, pulled up the security camera. The cruiser sat in his driveway, lights flashing, red and blue washing over the house. The officer stood at the door, head tilted, not blinking. Another slam. He rushed downstairs, unlocked the door, yanked it open. "What do you want?" The officer didn't answer. He raised the ticket, pointed at it, then slowly shook his head. "You missed your date." "I called the court," the man snapped. "There is no date. There is no case. This isn't real." The officer's jaw shifted. Something inside it moved wrong. A low sound slipped out, not quite a growl, not quite breath. Then the air changed. Fog rolled in, from nowhere, spilling across the porch, creeping inside. The man stepped back. "This is—" The officer moved, fast, too fast. A hand shot forward, grabbed his arm, ice cold. He was yanked outside. He was forced down and handcuffed. "Hey, what are you doing?" he demanded. The back door of his cruiser opened and he was thrown inside. The door slammed. He scrambled up, panicked. "Let me out! You can't—" "Sit!" The voice came from beside him. Calm and controlled, he froze. There was a woman in a clean, pressed black suit sitting beside him with a perfect posture, still. Unblinking, a file rested in her lap. "You ignored the ticket," she said. "What is this? Who are you?" he demanded. She didn't react. "Take a closer look." She pointed toward the house. He turned and froze. His body lay in the doorway, face down, still, unmoving. The front door half open, one arm bent beneath him. At an unnatural angle, completely lifeless, the world tilted. "No!" His voice cracked. "What did you do to me?" The woman opened the file and turned it toward him. The photo was dark and grainy. It was of a house fire and people trapped inside it, burning, a child screaming. His breathing stopped. "I did not," he began, but she interrupted him. "You were not caught," she said calmly. The officer slid into the driver's seat. Officer Howell sees what others don't. The engine started. The fog thickened, swallowing the road ahead. "You thought it was over," she continued softly. "You thought no one saw." The car began to move. He looked back, at his house, at his body, at everything he thought he still had, gone. "Where are you taking me?" he whispered. The woman closed the file. "Somewhere you should have gone a long time ago." The fog swallowed them, and the road behind them was empty again.